RVNTV, and I have a great guest today. I have Laura Marie Durant. She is a writer and the author of a new book. It's called The Passion Suffered by the Heart of Jesus. So I'm delighted to have you here, Laura. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much, Anna. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. I wanted to show our viewers the book, and I really love this book, and I was blessed to get a copy from Laura herself. Once again, The Passion Suffered by the Heart of Jesus. So we're going to discuss this, but we're just going to start out, Laura, if you could share with our viewers your faith journey. And even just a little bit about yourself would be great.
And my family, we have a large family. I have 3 other siblings and my parents, and we were very involved in our parish. My mother taught religion, and she was the head of the extraordinary ministers. My father was involved. I also played the organ for Mass as well. And so we were very involved in parish life, and I very much knew early on the love of the Father. So I was very blessed in that way and had a great parish priest as well. However, I can say, looking back, that I didn't matter. When I went on to college, I sort of, fell away from the church, and I stopped attending Mass. And I would, of course, reach out to God when things weren't going well. But when things were going well, it was kind of off to the side over here, right? So I didn't have much of a prayer life in my college years. And towards the end of my graduate school, I was getting my master's in professional counseling. I think, started to notice that there was really a void internally. Even though things were going well and I was achieving a great deal, school was going well, I had a great group of friends, there was just something internally that just wasn't right. And so I reached a local parish near me. And I will say that is one of those times where, you talk about having a come to Jesus moment. Well, I really had one of those moments, and I really became face to face with the reality that I needed to develop that relationship with Jesus. And I think that's really when my faith journey started back. So he was very, very on fire with the faith. In the beginning years of our marriage, we were doing what good Catholics should do, going to Mass every Sunday, doing all those things. And it was good, but I could tell, my faith had sort of become stagnant. And so I ended up started seeing a priest for spiritual direction, and I really became aware of the devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And that really started to help transform my heart. And I had a lot of wounds that needed to be healed.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us, Laura. I appreciate your giving us that introduction. I thought maybe we could just share a little bit on your book, from your book. Your actual little biography here. It says that you found healing in the heart of Jesus and seeks to spread this message through the word she writes at www.lauramarieDurant.com. So remember that website. She's a secular Carmelite who lives in Central Texas with her husband, John, and her bulldog, Winston. We were just talking about Winston a few minutes ago, too. So how's Winston? Winston's doing well.
It's great because he would come barreling in here and making his face known. So
yes. So appreciate that introduction that you just gave us. So I wondered if you could just share a little bit more about that spiritual journey, because as you were saying that you did come to a point in your life where things changed and your faith became a much more important part of your daily living.
Yes. So it really started when I entered formation into the Order of Carmelites, Discalced Seculars, and it's really where I was introduced to what prayer really is, which is really a relationship with our Creator. And became more aware of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, and all of us, no matter where we are, no matter where we've been, no matter what we've done. And it really started to heal those old wounds that I have. And it's really brought me to a place now where from that healing has come the writing that I do, the prayers and the reflections and the meditations that I write on my blog, and of course in the book that you have now.
Yes, thank you. I want to also mention you have wonderful social media pages, so mentioning to my viewers to take a look. On Facebook and Instagram, it's called Healing Heart of Jesus, so look that up, and her name again, Laura Marie Durant. She also has another group on Facebook, just simply her name, Laura Marie Durant, D-U-R-A-N-T. She has reflections, posts, and also some blog posts from her, her own personal writing. So I enjoy those so much, and thank you for having those available for the people who admire the work and get so much from what you're doing in our own spiritual journey. So you also provided me with a beautiful bookmark, and on the back of the bookmark is a good message. It says, "Jesus, you gave for me so I could spend forever with you. May I never forget your passion, and help me to console your most sacred heart by surrendering all to you as you surrendered yourself to the Father." And that's what the book is about. To repeat again, the book is The Passion Suffered by the Heart of Jesus. So can you tell us, I wondered if you could just share with us what it was like for you to write that book.
Yeah, it was a beautiful experience. And in the beginning, I really wasn't sure spiritual stations of the cross. I'd always been drawn to the agony in the garden because it's really surrendered his will to the will of God. And so it's helped me in my own life to surrender my will and control of my life to Jesus, and that's what brought me peace and brings me peace to deal with any struggles and trials I have. And so going through the full passion and meditating on each station was a very powerful experience. And I hope that anyone that reads the book is able to do the same as far as
Yes, Laura, it's
meditating.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
As you mentioned the word surrender, it is so important, I think, for our viewers and just anybody, because once you realize that point in your life when God is the one in charge of our lives, meaning that there's some things that are just out of our control. And I think, am I right? Is that sort of what surrendering is about? Okay. Yeah, so I also, Laura, I've enjoyed so much the chapters in this book. It is also, it's not a long read. So, I mean, the total amount of pages is just a little, what is it, maybe not quite 80 pages. So it is the type of book that you can pick up and just read a meditation per day. And it is it says it's prayerful reflections on the stations of the cross. Do you have any advice for viewers who are sort of away from their faith, or maybe they don't just don't have any faith at all, how they can find interest in reading a book like yours, or even pondering some of these things? I wondered if you had some words of advice for them.
Sure. I think the beauty of our Christian stuff, and no matter how long you've been away, no matter, or if not sure, just know that it's about a relationship, and it's about a mutual relationship, and that God loves you, whether we're aware of it. He's our creator, and He created us in His love, and He's seeking you out, and the people around you. Just love. That's the beauty of our God. So I think the one thing I would say is just go to Him and just say, whether you've been away, say, Jesus, I've been away a long time, so I'm coming back, just come into my life. And if you don't know Jesus, if you don't believe in him, just, be open to whatever it is, because ultimately all he wants to do is love you and to heal you and to give you his peace even when you're struggling. And there's no better way to live than to be in God's peace in all moments.
Thank you for sharing. Now, we do have to take a short break, so we'll be back in a few minutes on The Positive Side on RVNTV.
Shelter dogs aren't broken. They've simply experienced more life. If they were human, we would call them wise. They would be the ones with tales to tell and stories to write. The ones dealt a bad hand who responded with courage. Do not pity a shelter dog. Adopt one.
Say we've got grit, and we'll take it as a compliment. Because it's our uncommon drive, our spark within, that brings us together and sets us apart. We are temple made. And when others take shortcuts, when others take breaks, when others take the easy way, we take charge.
Add us on social media to watch bloopers, behind-the-scenes footage, previews, and more.
I work 13 hours a day, 6 days a week. So when I'm off the clock, I gotta get stuff done. So when I need a snack, I need something healthy, tasty, and easy to eat. Like wonderful pistachios without the shells. They're protein-powered, delicious, and great on the go. And that's perfect for me. Thanks, Liz. A woman without a lot of time.
Whether you're a gourmet cook or just want to eat like one, visit Rostelli Market Fresh, your home for the freshest, locally sourced ingredients to please everyone who loves great food. Our organic meats, quality seafood, and free-range poultry are cut fresh to order. Chefs create culinary-inspired prep foods made fresh every day, which pair nicely with our vast selection of fine wines and spirits. Choose from handmade pastas, artisan cheeses, organic produce, and grocery items, all from the finest purveyors. Rostelli Market Fresh, from our family to yours.
RVNTV is a platform for people of any industry to share their story. Over 285,000 viewers are tuning in to RVNTV shows monthly. We guarantee a great experience that you'll be sharing with everyone you know while increasing your personal and company's brand awareness.
Hi, welcome back to The Positive Side. This is Ann DeSantis, your host, with Laura Marie Durant. She's a writer and an author of the book, The Passion Suffered by the Heart of Jesus. So welcome back again, Laura. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much.
Yes. This is a wonderful book. I was blessed to get a copy of it from Laura herself, and she autographed that copy for me too. And I thought I could just read a little bit from the back cover that tells you a little bit about this book. It says, "Imagine a heart so pure and on fire with love for all humankind that it would stop at nothing to save us from the eternity we have merited, even if it meant enduring the most severe betrayal, rejection, and torture, and ultimately death. This is the very heart of Jesus, and this is what it is, what his heart suffered during his passion. Using these prayerful reflections as your guide, journey station by station with Jesus throughout his passion. Experience the heart of Jesus during his final journey on earth, from the agony in the garden to the joy of the resurrection. Allow yourself to experience his heart in suffering so that you may learn how to live with love and peace on your own." So I want to thank you for that. That's a great description of the book, Laura. And right before the break, we were talking about people who are not really practicing faith and are away from faith, and you were giving some suggestions for them. I wondered if there were any more words of advice that you could have for somebody who is maybe going through a very difficult time and finding it hard to really believe in God. So wondered if you had any words there.
Yes. I think it is a difficult struggle when we are going through difficult times, and to think to ourselves, where is God in all this, and why would He allow it? And that's certainly a difficult thing. I think the thing that's always helped me, again, is to open up the Bible and to reflect. There's so many passages, and it's a living document, and it's always speaking to us. It's a matter of just allowing Jesus, asking us to show what it is that we can learn from this, and remembering too. There's the key thing. It's about what's going to happen in the next life. It's about eternity.
Oh,
right?
yes.
So we're going to live this life, and there's going to be struggles, and there's going to be pain, but we're not alone. Jesus is with us. And as long as we continue to invite Him into our lives, no matter where we are, He's going to be there with us. And the more we invite Him in prayer and just be with Him and develop that relationship with Him, we will have peace. And always keep in mind, it's about eternity. It's about where we're going next.
I really
and hopefully
appreciate
that should help in those moments.
I appreciate your sharing that. That's excellent advice, especially for someone who is feeling that distance with God. So appreciate it. So I wondered if you could just tell us about when you were writing the book, what was that like for you? I know that it's also a very spiritual journey, isn't it, when you're writing a book such as this?
Yes, absolutely. And I was talking to someone this morning actually about having to need to go back to my book and read certain chapters, because there was an area of my life that was being affected. I needed to go back and read the book to help me through that difficult experience I was. And it was very interesting to really meditate on what was the heart of Jesus experiencing, and that was so beautiful, because it's like he knows what we're going through. He's been through it to an extreme degree.
So true. Thank you. And the smile on your face tells me that He's helped you so much. So good to see that.
Yeah.
Good to see that. Now, if someone would like to purchase this book, how can they find it? Where is it available?
Sure. So it's on Amazon, and it's available in paperback and Kindle formats. It's also available on my website, healingheartofjesus.com or lauramariedurant.com. It's also on Barnes & Nobles and various other distributors, but definitely it's on Amazon and my website.
Okay. And did you say that it is on Kindle? Did I hear that?
Yes. Yeah, there is a Kindle version as well.
That's excellent. I love Kindle, so it's good to hear.
Yeah.
So again, the title again is The Passion Suffered by the Heart of Jesus. You have to get that book. I just love it. So I wondered also if you could tell me about, not only are you an author, but you are a speaker too. You do speaking engagements. Can you tell us about that?
Well, I'm tiptoeing into the area of speaking. Yes, as Jesus provides opportunities for me. I'm giving a talk in the fall on family forgiveness and love in prayer life, and that's actually going to be the subject of my next book that I'm doing as well. It's going to be on family and forgiveness and healing. So
love that. Now you are located in Central Texas, and we are here in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, which is like the South Jersey area, very close to Philadelphia. So if somebody is watching that might not be directly from your area, Central Texas, and maybe they are interested in a speaking engagement, would you be willing to travel out and visit a church, say if it was on the East Coast or someplace else?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
Good. So where would they get in touch with you, Laura? Do you have an email you can provide or any other contact information?
Yes, my email is lauramariedurant@outlook.com.
Okay, thank you.
And you can go to my website and my contact info is there as well.
So lauramariedurant@outlook.com. So keep that in mind. If somebody is watching, you'd like to have Laura come out and speak at your church or your organization, I'm sure she'd be thrilled. So, and remember again, check out her website at lauramariedurant.com. And I mentioned again, especially for our social media friends, Healing Heart of Jesus, that is Facebook and Instagram, and also Laura Marie Durant, Facebook and Instagram. And I think you're on Twitter too. A friend of mine reminded me of that. And is it same thing there on Twitter?
Actually, on Twitter, it's at heartoflove_7.
At heartoflove_7. So remember that for our Twitter fans out there too.
Yeah.
So I wondered if you could talk more about, you mentioned a book, a new book, and you could tell us a little bit more about that and the topics that you'll be covering.
Sure. Yeah, it's really going to be based around surrendering our wounds, our emotional wounds of the past to Jesus, and allowing us to sort of enter into that place of woundedness. And so much of the struggles that we experience, surround and being able to forgive those that hurt us, and maybe even forgive ourselves for things we've done. And so it'll be a series of meditations on forgiveness and on surrender, to allow Jesus to come in and heal our heart. Because if he can heal our heart, he'll heal others around us as well. That's the beautiful thing of spiritual healing.
That's a good thing to hear, because I think for some of our viewers, when you are going through difficult times, let's face it, some of the difficult times that happen in people's lives are not just the direct result of things that happened that we've done. I mean, sometimes it is, but sometimes it does involve other people or something that someone feels was done to them, and very hard to get over. So healing that, when you say that it can have an effect on other relationships in the family, in the church, in business, right?
Yes,
neighborhoods.
exactly.
Once you experience that, I would think that what happens is that sort of branches out to others. And I think I think I've experienced that myself. I mean, life it is a journey, isn't it? The faith journey is a journey. We're never quite there. I don't think until it's the end of our lives, and then
we can always grow. And spiritual healing is a fruitful healing. That's the beauty.
It really is. I wondered if you had any other advice or resources that you could recommend to our viewers. If there's anything else out there, good books that you like, or websites that you would recommend.
Well, as a secular Carmelite, I'm obviously going to recommend books. The Story of a Soul is a beautiful story of autobiography of Saint Therese of Lisieux, and her little way, and how she handled situations. And it's the beautiful thing about Saint Therese. She talks about just little situations, about people that maybe irritated her doing this, and how she dealt with that, and how she kind of gave that to God, and how she just went about her way of growing in holiness. And it's really just an instruction guide in many ways of how to live our lives and to be at peace. So that's definitely one. And anything on the devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus, because it's hard to read anything about the devotion to the Sacred Heart and just not be filled with his mercy and love.
And it looks like it's made a big effect on your own life, I think.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Getting to know you a little bit. And I would agree with you on Story of a Soul. That is a classic book, so would highly recommend that too to my viewers. So, Laura, I can't believe it. I say this all the time, but the time went by so quickly.
Yes.
We do have to say goodbye. I would invite you to come back again on the positive side on RVNTV. So to my viewers, I would say keep Laura and her ministry in your prayers. Laura, have a great day, and we will see you next time on the positive side.
Thank you so much, Ann. God bless.
Thank you.